So Duke will have it first. Harrison Butker will kick off for Georgia Tech. And here he approaches the ball. Devon Edwards standing in the end zone, and Edwards watched it go over his head. All right, here are the lineups, brought to you by Food Line. First for Duke.
Well, they've got good players at every level. Isaac Blakeney, big receiver, great speed. Josh Snead will start at running back, big-time speed as well. But Lakeland Tomlinson, 44 consecutive starts, the right guard spot. He is a monster. It's a big offensive line, and this guy will play at the next level.
First down and 10 from the 25. Snead comes into the ball game. Shaquille Powell is available today. He has 200 yards on the season, but he is injured. He could play, but he's not in there now. It's Josh Snead in the backfield with Boone. First down, they want to throw. Over the middle. Good coverage there. Tackle made immediately by Quayshawn Neely on Snead.
Well, you look at this Georgia Tech defense. Quayshawn Neely just made that tackle. He leads his team in tackles. Paul Davis, undersized linebacker that can fly around. Isaiah Johnson back at safety for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech fans remember him making a number of plays as a freshman. He made a huge one last week, an interception against Miami.
Still picked up 6. Second down and 4. Here's the run, left side. Snead's got a hole. He's got a first down. So he picks up 7.
Them taking a look at Anthony Boone and what he brings to the table is his ability to move around. He's a dual threat guy, can run and throw it. But he is, and he's had an outstanding regular season record.
Ball's on the ground, incompleted pass. They thought for a minute it might have been a backwards pass for a fumble.
Well, Chris Melton, who's an outstanding special teams player as well as corner, saw the screen right away and almost intercepted that for a huge play for Georgia Tech defensively. They've taken away the football 5 times in the last 2 weeks. They really are swarming to the football.
Barnes and Crowder come to the bottom of your screen. Flanker screen, ball dropped. Intended for Jamison Crowder, and you don't see that very much. Duke's leading receiver is sure-handed.
Well, one thing about Blakeney and Crowder now, that throughout the week they've had splints on their hands because of finger injuries. And both guys have had a tough time handling the football here early in the game, so we'll have to watch that one play out.
Third down and 10. Defense can lay its ears back. This is where Georgia Tech really gets aggressive. Nickel defense. Boone has a man. It is Crowder, and it's a first down for Duke. Johnson with the tackle.
And it looked like the ball was jarred out at the end, and that's something these two safeties are doing, Tim. Crowder gets in the middle. Isaiah Johnson going to come over the top and knock the ball out.
Boy, I never did see that ball come loose. Good call, partner.
And again, I mention again, remember Crowder, and I just mentioned it, Crowder has had a splint on his hand all day, 2 drops back-to-back.
This is a line drive that hits at the 3 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. Looked like Crowder had it on his fingertips, bobbled it for a second, brought it in. I thought he had it. Instead, they punted away, a 61-yard punt. Georgia Tech offensively. These lineups brought to you by Food Lions.
Zach Lasky, we mentioned in the opening. Charles Perkins will play a role at the A-back spot carrying the football. DeAndre Smelter is a nightmare matchup. 6'3", 220 pounds. Plays baseball here at Georgia Tech. He's got great hand-eye coordination, and he's got deep speed. Watch out for Smelter.
Here it is. Lasky behind Thomas. First down, it is Lasky. Right side, big hole, big gain. 8.5 yards, almost 9.
Well, let's look at this Duke defense, and we talk about Borders. One of those corners is going to have to match up potentially against Smelter. David Helton leads his team in tackles at middle backer, but Jeremy Cash, the strong safety, is going to play a major part in trying to defend this triple option. In fact, they're going to try to get as many as 8 players around the line of scrimmage to defend this well-oiled option attack.
Same play, other side, first down, Georgia Tech.
And we talked to Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator for Duke, and what's the #1 thing you need to do? And he talked about Lasky. He talked about we've got to be able to take care of the B-back and that initial fake, and we've got to get that done with our interior 3 players, 2 tackles and the middle linebacker. You look at Justin Thomas and what he brings to the table. He can beat you a lot of ways. I asked him what he's most underrated for, and that's his ability to throw it. He loves playing in this offense.
Lasky has a tough time that way. They shut it down in a hurry. Gets a yard and a half. They'll call it 2.
Excellent job by Duke. Again, we talked about being able to take care of the fullback first. Excellent job of really swelling up in the middle of the line and taking away the run by that interior group.
Bostic comes into the ball game now for the Yellow Jackets. 2nd down and 8. Here's the option. Here's the pitch. This is Bostic. Big gain across midfield. B.J. Bostic, 5'11", 169 pounds, picks up 16 yards.
Oh, really difficult. Watch Perkins, 21, lead the play. He's going to get the cut block right there. That frees up the pitch, and Bostic up the field. This team is operated as well as Paul Johnson can remember. They're 5-0, as we talked about, the 5th time since 1957. But the precision with which they're running the offense, and it all starts with their quarterback, Justin Thomas, really loves running this system.
Quick pass outside. This is 1-on-1. Smelter. Close to a 1st down. He'll be just a little bit short. Picks up 9.
Talked about Smelter and the tough matchup. He is 6'3", 220, but he runs extremely well. We've seen a lot of really good receivers come out of Georgia Tech. Demarius Thomas obviously comes to mind. Calvin Johnson, but Smelter leads his team in receiving, but he's also one of those kind of guys that they love to set up one-on-one on those little smoke routes like we just saw.
Former baseball player, extremely dangerous. Right side, Zenon has the 1st.
You know, when you talk about Georgia Tech and what they bring to the table, they get to things that I think that people are a little disguised. To me, this play they just ran, and we'll see it a number of times today, the wide toss, Tim, that's their version of the bubble screen. They get the toss so wide that it ultimately looks like a screenplay to one of the slot receivers.
Georgia Tech beat Duke 38-14 in Durham last year. Terrific day by the Jackets quarterback Thad Lee. He's now at James Madison. This is Lasky again. Lasky finds it a little tougher that time. He only picked up 3.
Good hustle off the backside by Duke, trying to limit Lasky and what Lasky brings to the table. When you look at this Yellow Jacket attack, obviously triple option. 4th option is Justin Thomas throwing it. The quarterback, he is a perfect. He loves playing in the system. Big receiver, 6'6" and 3'6" on the outside. 7 different Jackets have scored touchdowns. That makes it tough.
Carlos Ray playing a nice game in the middle for Duke, but this is outside. This is Thomas. He's got room. A flag is down, but Thomas inside the 10. Devon Edwards finally made the tackle, but the flag is down at the 25. We'll see if it negates the pickup of 19.
Holding on the offense. Number 84, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Number 84, Michael Summers, called for holding, and so that play comes back.
This is a really good perimeter blocking team. You have to be to run the option, but when you look at Summers coming back to the inside, there he is right there in the middle of your screen, kind of wrapped up the corner. Pretty easy call right there for the official. Nice call. But you see the dangerous Justin Thomas in the open field, and it's something they really haven't had here at Georgia Tech at quarterback for a while, is the great speed. I mean, he's game-breaking speed at quarterback.
2nd down and almost 10. Again, the option. Thomas inside. Thomas inside the 25. A pickup of 12.
Watch the decision making now. Ride the fullback, take it out. Now he's going to read the edge. Little fake to the outside. And this assignment football, we talk about Duke, making sure they take care of their assignments. Does a really good job of faking and getting safety Devon Edwards up the field, number 27, and then Justin cut it back to the inside.
DeWalt Ongejo had him in the backfield and missed the tackle. 1st down and 10. Lasky breaks the tackle, slices inside the 15. Zach Lasky.
And we got a chance to talk to Zach Lasky yesterday. Impressive kid, but he doesn't look like a fullback. He's about 215 pounds, 217 pounds, long-legged, kind of gangly, but he's just got tremendous feet the way he picks them up. He doesn't get tackled low. 307 carries coming into today's game for Lasky. He'd only been tackled for a loss 3 times. It's unbelievable.
Played safety for a while before he moved back to the offense. Here he is again, and he's met rather rudely at the line this time by the Blue Devils. David Helton got there first. This is a 4-2-5 defense. Depends on speed, versatility, and flexibility. But against Georgia Tech, they go sometimes to that 8-man front.
You look at that red zone offense, 4 for 4 a week ago against Miami, and Duke in turn very good in the red zone themselves defensively. So strength on strength right here.
12th play of the drive for Thomas. Here he goes, cuts it inside, and it's well covered. They lose yardage this time, which they don't do very often. Kyler Brown got there to make the tackle.
Well, Brown does an excellent job of playing the edge. Out here on the end. Steps across, plays off the block. Does an excellent job. And that's what you're going to have to do as a Duke defender. And Kyler Brown did an excellent job. You have to defeat blocks because you're going to have a hat on you. Can you play off the block and make the play? Nice play there by Kyler Brown.
Georgia Tech has scored on 4 of 5 opening drives, 3 touchdowns. This is 3rd down and 8. Yellow Jackets can get a first down, but this is a timeout by Paul Johnson. He saw the play clock going down, and so he called a timeout from the sideline. No score, 7:26 to play first quarter.
ACC football is being brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the ACC. By your Carolina Ford dealers. By Food Line, official supermarket of the ACC. And by New York Life Insurance Company.
Always great pregame festivities here when you come to Georgia Tech. This is the oldest on-campus stadium in the country at this level. FBS. Great football scene.
Well, this is the #1 team in the country in 3rd down conversions, and this is a tough one when you get down here tight.
This drive has gone 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Georgia Tech eats up the clock anytime it plays. 3rd down and 8. They can get a first. Thomas throws to the end zone. And overthrown. Intended for Smelter. Borders on the coverage.
Smelter crashed into the wall in the tunnel there. The ball was overthrown. And he was trying to shut it down. It looked like he crashed into the wall, trying to stick his hands out. He's going to stick his hands out here to try to kind of cushion his blow, and it looked like he may have done something to
hit the gate, and we're not sure what. Well, we'll wait on that. While there's time out on the field, we'll take one as well. We'll go back to Charlotte with Tom Wormy. Tom?
Tim, thank you. Time for a Hyundai update. Tom and Tommy here, and Coach Cincinnati and Miami, and Duke Johnson for the Canes rumbles 80 yards.
They say great backs see all the cars on the freeway. Great cut by Duke.
He moves into 4th all-time rushing at Miami. Canes lead this one now 14-7. It is late in the first quarter. Back to Tim.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Smelter is up and he's off, or Smelter right, and he's coming off the field, but he seems to be okay. Harrison Butker comes on to attempt a field goal for Georgia Tech.
Butker, a game winner for this team against Virginia Tech a few weeks ago.
This is a 27-yard attempt. He's 1 for 1 from this distance this year. Plenty of distance. And the kick is good. And so the Yellow Jackets are on the board first. A great scene. Saturday afternoon. Duke and Georgia Tech. It's the ACC.
What a drive. Almost 7 minutes off the clock, and really it's the toll it takes on the defense. Hot, humid day here in Atlanta. That's not what Duke was looking for, an extended drive by Georgia Tech.
But for a 27-yard field goal, that's where we are. This is a touchback. And the keys to the ball game, Arch.
Well, he looks like these 4 keys brought to you by Carolina Ford dealers. Assignment football is huge, and obviously when you defend anything that's an option, you've got to make sure you take care of your assignments. We saw Georgia Tech do a little bit of taking advantage of that defense. Good stop in the red zone. And for Georgia Tech, they want to play 60 minutes. They don't feel like they've put the football game together. In fact, they haven't started very well throughout the season, other than the Georgia Southern game. They'd like to play 60 minutes.
And those are your Carolina Ford keys to the game. First down, Duke. This is Wilson. And he's met by a whole host of swarming Yellow Jackets.
I think it's going to be imperative for Duke to have some semblance of a running game today, not throw everything on top of Anthony Boone. Boone very capable. We talked about his 14-1 record. In fact, first loss he's had in a regular season game as a starter was 2 weekends ago at Miami. But Coach Cutcliffe wants him to have some semblance of a running game so he can get Crowder and Blakeney the ball on the outside.
And a flag flies. Movement on the offense.
False start on the offense. Number 67, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Lucas Patrick, 67.
Now you look at this Duke offense, a veteran, big offensive line up front. The quarterback's played solidly, although he struggled the last couple of weeks. And Boone, multiple sets. You'll see shotgun, you'll see him under center. And Jamison Crowder, we've talked about him. He is the game breaker for this football team. How many times can they get him the ball in space?
Crowder at the bottom of the screen with McCaffrey. They go the other way. Wilson. And Wilson is pushed out of bounds. About 4 yards shy of the first by Isaiah Thomas, or Johnson rather.
That's the 10th catch for Sean Wilson, and I think everybody that watches Duke football remembers his first down performance against Kansas. So the youngster in the game already. The youngster in the game at running back had 245 yards on the ground against Kansas. They need some of that today against Georgia Tech.
Third down and 4. Boone, incomplete. It was intended for Jamison Crowder again. He's had 3 balls in his hands today and no catches.
Yeah, a little too tall for Crowder. Let's take a look at what kind of heat Georgia Tech coming with both linebackers. Quayshawn Neely a little bit late getting there. I don't think that affected the throw. Man coverage down the field. Ball too tall for Crowder. Not the biggest receiver in the world. Crowder 5'9", 175. A little too tall for his playmaker.
That's Jamal Golden. He's standing at the 25. Will Monday gets off a high tail wagger, but there is a flag down. So that ball goes out of bounds. It won't be able to be fielded, but the flag all the way back at the 32-yard line. It's a 53-yard punt, but that'll probably be negated.
Well, if Georgia Tech was offside now, this is be a first down for Duke.
Paul Johnson looking on. Paul Johnson has made Tech better in every way. Football, academics, and optimism. He's already been Coach of the Year multiple times. Wayne Haight is the official, and here's the call.
During the kick, holding on the receiving team, number 62. That penalty is declined. Before the ball was kicked, offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a penalty. First down.
So a new life for the Duke offense.
And you might wonder why, and I think most fans would know the hold is a post-possession foul, so that would have been marked off on Georgia Tech at the end of the kick. This one is a pre-snap foul, and obviously Duke gets the football back now, 1st and 10 at near their 35-yard line.
David Cutcliffe and Duke 0-6 against Georgia Tech. The Jackets have actually beaten Duke 10 straight times. Boone hands it off to Wilson. Bounced off one, got clobbered by the other. Pick up a 3.
And Devon Smith, a lot of versatility with number 12, Devon Smith, the safety slash linebacker. He makes the play there, but Duke is able to get some of that run game. 3 yards on first down.
Here's Boone, rolls, throws, and not much there as another flag comes in. Keep in mind, when this game started, emotions were high. A couple of recruiting comments, and this game got a little spicy. Coaches went back and forth all week. We heard it when we got down here. It was still in their minds.
Illegal block on the offense. Number 29, blocking low, back towards their own goal line. 15-yard penalty, still second down.
Now Sean Wilson going to peel back, and you cannot block back to the inside. That's one of the new rules about blocking that's happened here recently, and you can't block back to the inside on a player low, and Wilson gets flagged for the illegal block there and digs a huge hole for this Duke defense.
Well, it's the 4th penalty already in this game, 2 on each club. Emotion sometimes gets in the way of concentration. Second down, they need 22 now. Over the top. What a hit. A flag comes in. Wilson makes the catch all the way down to the 45. Carrie Griffin with the hit.
Well, this might be the targeting variety here. Let's take a look. The redshirt freshman came in and made the hit, and Griffin, the freshman for Duke, is going over the sidelines to get a little help from his people.
Now, this used to be one of the great plays you'd look for in the secondary, because with a great shot at a defenseless receiver looking at the ball, you could separate it.
Targeting on the defense. Number 14. First down by rule. Number 14 has been disqualified from the game. The previous play is under review.
So Carrie Griffin now has been ejected for targeting a defenseless receiver. Back in the old days, you tried to separate the ball from the receiver, and that's the way you did it.
Unfortunately, I think Corey's trying to hit him with his shoulder and his helmet. The helmet's, this is the one that's tough, because your head is connected to your shoulders, obviously. Watch him lead with the shoulder, and the helmets just collide. I frankly don't feel like he was trying to target Wilson down the field with his helmet, but the helmets do collide.
Yeah.
And he's leading with his shoulder.
Number 14 is disqualified from the game. First down.
So regardless of the intent,
Right.
it was hat to hat.
And that's all they're looking for. Do the helmets collide? You've got a defenseless guy. It's all about safety. You've got a defenseless guy going down the pipe. He can't have his head on a swivel watching for, he's got to concentrate on the ball coming in. So it's on the defensive player to make sure the helmets don't hit. It's a tough one. It's an inexact science. I don't think Griffin was trying to lead with the helmet, but because the shoulder and the head are that close together, you're going to get the collision.
But that's how the game has changed. It is for safety. And by rule, they got it right. Hat to hat. First down and 10. This is Sneed with a big hole down to the 20. First down, Blue Devils.
Running in behind big Lakeland Tomlinson, their big right guard, number 77, clearing the way in his zone read play and trying to lean on his big offensive line. There's Carrie Griffin, and boy, disappointing for him, the redshirt freshman from a big-time program here in Atlanta, Sandy Creek High School, but he won't get to play the rest of the day.
First down for Boone. Steps back, play action, corner. Incomplete, intended for Jamal Barnes.
Well, give Keyshawn Freeman some credit, Tim, on this incompletion now. Number 42, the defensive end. He's going to get pressure on the quarterback and get around Boone's arm. He got just enough of Boone's arm that he was inaccurate with the throw, because Jamal Barnes was open, but the Freeman pressure made the throw wide.
You could see Boone not happy. Straight up the middle, big hole. This is Sneed. Inside the 5 goes Josh Sneed.
Again, behind Lakeland Tomlinson, number 77. What's the big fella come off the football? Gets the block right there. And Sneed, who's the fastest of the quick. And Duke's inside the 5.
So far, a very multiple Duke. And Cirk, the backup quarterback, comes into the ball game now at the bottom of the screen. And Cirk ahead. Stopped by Freeman.
Well, Cirk comes in the game. Remember, if you follow Duke football, Brandon Cadet, who was an outstanding inside the red zone runner, he's not on this football team anymore. And now Thomas Cirk is the guy, 6'4", 220 pounds. He's the pounder in the run game down close.
Joseph Ajabi comes into the ball game for Duke. Still nothing there. Anthony Boone on the keeper for no yardage.
Back-to-back plays by Keyshawn Freeman, the outside linebacker / defensive end. He's crashed down on both those plays. And this is an area Duke struggled in. Only 14 touchdowns and 24 trips to the red zone. This is an area they've really struggled. And Coach Cutcliffe said they've got to be better this week.
Blue Devils had some extra time to prepare for this Georgia Tech team this year. Duke plays only a couple of games in the month of October because of scheduling. Third down, Boone bobbles the snap, throws, touchdown Duke, McCaffrey. Max McCaffrey made the tackle, or made the catch rather, and slipped the tackle for the touchdown.
I love the design of the play. Excellent job by McCaffrey to get to the inside. McCaffrey, the outside receiver here, slides inside, gets the inside positioning on Desmond Smith, the safety, and a good accurate throw inside, leading McCaffrey to the goal line by Boone.
Ross Martin comes on to attempt the extra point. It was a 27-yard field goal by Butker that gave Georgia Tech the lead, and the Blue Devils come right back with the touchdown. Boone to McCaffrey. Extra point is good. And with 2:35 to play in the first quarter, the Blue Devils have taken the lead. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Corey Hayward, iron hits Youngin. Bobby Cremins was here earlier today.
Yeah, they were asking if they could write his name on the football field. No, Bobby. They would keep that over at the basketball field. Basketball, say, great coach at Georgia Tech, Bobby Cremins.
Great guy. This is Jamal Golden. Gets to the outside. Golden has two blockers, and Golden takes it up to midfield. Look out! Golden inside the 30. How about that return by Jamal Golden? Bennett from behind saved a touchdown, but a return of 68 yards.
Well, Jamal Golden came into today the #2 returner in the ACC, and any returner will tell you, I've got to have guys upfield blocking. How about Zach Glasky, number 37, got 2 blocks on that play, the fullback for this football team. But Jamal Golden, they love having Jamal back, injured the shoulder a year ago, back on the field as a safety, and he made his name here early as a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket as a return guy. You see why.
And for David Cutcliffe, boy, that was just a head shaker. Scores a touchdown and gives up that big 68-yard return. First down, Jackets. Lasky straight ahead. Let's go back to the studio. Tom and Tommy. Let's get it up.
Tim, thanks. Hyundai update. Florida State and Syracuse. Jameis Winston, 4-yard TD pass. Mario Pender, his second TD of the game, second quarter, 17-3 FSU.
Well, all right, Tommy, thanks. Scott Schaefer having a tough time stopping folks the last several weeks.
Well, tough assignment, too, and they believe Terrell Hunt, his quarterback's out of the game as well. So tough one for the Orange today.
Second down and 3. First down, Lasky again. Really played hard and got some tough yards against Miami last week. Hardest working player, Arch.
Well, he is, and he really does an unbelievable job. 307 carries, his 3 losses. I mean, think about it. Carried the ball 307 times, only been thrown for a loss. Just 3 times coming in today's game. Has not been thrown for a loss yet today either. So you can add a few more numbers to that.
Thanks to PNC Bank for giving us our hardest working player. And there he is again, right on cue.
We asked him about, what do you do? I talked about he's a gangly looking kid. Doesn't look like a fullback, but he's not low center of gravity. He's a tall guy, but he's a guy that he says that the coaches have a drill where they run through and they got a bag and they're smacking at their legs. He says, I don't like getting my legs smacked, so I pick him up off the ground. Boy, it serves him well when he's running through a lot of the traffic here in the inside.
He told us yesterday he's 218 pounds now. Boy, he does run behind his pads with speed.
Yeah, former quarterback St. John Days checks in at the B-back spot as Lasky gets some equipment adjusted on the sideline.
Lasky goes out with 9 carries, 49 yards. And another flag.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the 3rd penalty against the Yellow Jackets.
Well, give Duke some credit now defensively. This is the 2nd time that Georgia Tech's gotten down into the red zone, and Duke has presented a look that's made Justin Thomas pause at getting the ball snap. This is their 2nd delay of game penalty in the red zone. So Jim Knowles' defense jumping around, creating some problems of trying to figure out what they're doing.
Bringing up Jeremy Cash in a banjo, bring the safety up like a linebacker. Now they chase Thomas out of there. Blue Devils swarming defensively. That was Jonathan Jones who chased him out.
Now, good mush rush, meaning they kept everybody in their lanes and took away the run option for Justin Thomas and got him on the ground.
You can call it Justin option. It fits.
Sure does.
Also Houdini, end of the 1st quarter. We'll be back with the 2nd quarter right after this. As we start the 2nd quarter, 7-3 Duke. Our 1st quarter stats are brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery. This year, the North Carolina Education Lottery will contribute more than $500 million to help meet North Carolina's education needs. Learn more at nc-educationlottery.org.
Both teams have been able to put together long drives. You'll love the balance if you're David Cutcliffe, 42 and 47 in yards rushing and passing. You knew that Georgia Tech would be weighted towards the run game. A little bit too many penalties. 6 penalties in the 1st quarter. Neither coach likes that.
Big 3rd down here. Georgia Tech needs 9. Thomas throws to the flats. Tackle made, and he'll be short of the 1st down. Borders came up and tackled Hill. See where they get the mark.
Well, and this is that area where Paul Johnson will consider going for it. He may send his field goal unit on. It's about 4 or 5 yards, but just good job by Duke to force the throw in the flat, rally up and make the tackle. Duke has been so good defensively. They kind of bending, and then not breaking down in the red zone. They've done it twice in this drive. They've been aided by a couple of penalties down in the red zone, Tim. But again, on a 3rd and long situation, they forced Georgia Tech to kick a field goal.
So Harrison Butker comes back on. He had a 27 earlier. This is from 26 yards. Trying to go 3 for 3 this year from this distance. And he's good. It's everything we expected. As the tailgating continues outside, the game inside is a humdinger.
ACC football is brought to you by Haviland, official motor oil of the ACC, by Hardy, by Tire Pros, and by Progressive Insurance.
Georgia Tech Football Hall of Fame opened in August of this year. 94,000 square foot attraction loaded in the Centennial Olympic Park, the College Football Hall of Fame. And it is a beauty. Harrison Butker with that field goal to make it a 7-6 game. That drive was set up by the 68-yard kickoff return. There's a long kick that'll go to the 1st row. Ajbi never had a chance. Touchback.
Tim, when you look at this Duke drive that led to a touchdown, it was aided by a penalty where actually Georgia Tech was actually going to get off the field. Offside penalty gave Duke new life. Big throw down the pipe to Wilson. An ejection for Carrie Griffin, the safety, because of the targeting rule. And then Snead gets him inside the 5. Excellent throw to McCaffrey inside from Boone. And Duke strikes. Excellent job of cashing in on a couple mistakes.
Joseph Ajabi comes back into the ball game, the redshirt freshman. Here he is. He is quick. Look out across midfield. Ajabi to the 40. And finally knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line by DJ White.
Well, what a run by Ajabi, and it really is all Ajabi. Now there's a flag down the field back down near the Duke 38-yard line. And that generally spells doom for on a long run. So we'll have to see how this is sorted out.
Hold it on the offense. Number 17. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Blakeney, number 17, and it negates a 48-yard run.
How about his individual effort now? This is a run that bends all the way back to the backside. And you mentioned his quickness, Tim. You see it right there, his ability to explode and get up the field. The redshirt freshman, outstanding run. But Blakeney, his senior wide receiver, number 17, right there with a hold. And that freed him up. Ajabi down the sideline. So explosion play called back because of a penalty.
So it'll be first down and 6 after they mark it off. Absolutely nothing for the little freshman there. 5'9", 210-pound from Riverside, California. Keishan Freeman got there first.
Now watch Paul Davis, too. The undersized linebacker, number 40, going to show up on this play. Big hit in the hole by Paul Davis. Helped by Freeman, and they get him on the ground. Excellent job. Now, that was an adjustment that the defensive coordinator, Ted Roof, had to make. They were not defending the interior part of the zone read. Paul Davis steps up and makes a play right there.
Davis, the leading tackler on this team. Snead comes in. Wilson goes out. Boone to the flats. And Snead is short of the first down marker.
Now, we talked about Ted Roof. In fact, the last time a Duke football team beat a Georgia Tech football team, Ted Roof, the Georgia Tech defensive coordinator, was the head coach at Duke. He was an interim coach at the time, but they won back in 2003. They haven't beaten Georgia Tech here in Atlanta since 1994.
Ted was a pretty good football player here. And as you said, Arch, a tremendous coach, not going to get it. Wilson was really hit hard by Neely.
Well, the two linebackers have showed up big here in this drive after the fortunate penalty. If you're a Georgia Tech fan, Neely right here in the gap, going to shoot through and make the play. Nobody blocks or he plays off the block of the tackle, and Quayshawn Neely makes the play, and that makes a defensive coordinator happy. There's Ted Roof, great Georgia Tech player, back at his alma mater as the defensive coordinator.
Jamal Golden comes on to return this punt by Will Monday. Monday gets off a high punt, kicks it away from Golden. We'll see where they mark it. It'll come all the way out to the 31-yard line, so it's a 36-yard punt. No return. Hammer and Hank looking on. The clouds have parted. The sun is out. It's a one-point game. You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Also streaming live now on the ACC.com and on the official ACC mobile app. Closed captioning for ACC football is brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Gorgeous day in Atlanta and a terrific football game. Duke leading 7-6. With 11:58 to play in the half. This is Thomas. Good fake. Thomas is loose and is up near midfield. Justin Thomas finally tackled by DeAndre Singleton after a gain of 16.
Well, just an excellent job of execution by Justin Thomas. Here's the first option. Pull it. Step around the corner. Now, an excellent ball fake. Good blocking on the edge. And Justin Thomas steps up the field. He came in the number 4 rusher in the ACC. And he has continued to run at a high level. Only 27 yards a week ago. He said he was fine with that. I just want to get us in position to win games.
Here he is again on the option. Pitches it out. covered well. Charles Perkins still picks up a handful.
But you just see how difficult it is, Tim. An option offense that has been around a long, long time. When you get a quarterback that can operate at such a high level in the decision making, and Paul Johnson can't say enough about Justin Thomas. He pointed this kid out 2 years ago in the spring practice. He said, hey, this kid's got a chance now, and he was a youngster at that time. He's now fully in command.
Boy, he looks built for this offense. You're right. This is St. John days, nothing there. I mean, Johnson has made a living perfecting this option offense, which is based on the quarterback reading the defensive reactions, obviously. Let's go down to Rachel with more on Justin Thomas.
Guys, Justin was committed to Nick Saban and Alabama, and Coach Paul Johnson was able to steal him away, and the reason he was able to do that is because he promised him. He said, you'll play quarterback here. You'll not just get a shot, you'll play quarterback. He told us this week, you wouldn't believe it, he's one of the most accurate and has one of the strongest arms he's ever seen here at Georgia Tech.
Come around the outside. This is Zenon. And Zenon is stopped for basically no gain.
Good job by this defense. You talk about this being assignment conscious. Excellent job by A.J. Wolf to stay at home. Defensive tackle 93, going to play off the block. This was kind of a counter-type play, pitching the ball to the backside to Tony Zenon. And Georgia Tech, as they so often do, when you get inside 3 yards, they're going to go, and they'll go here on 4th down.
4th down and 3. St. John Day still in the ball game. Motion by the offensive line. It looked like it was Trey Braun who moved, flinched. Flag came out immediately.
78, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that's the 5th penalty against Georgia Tech.
Paul having a discussion with Justin Thomas. His mannerisms, what he was doing at the line of scrimmage, it's something he do make Trey Braun flinch. There's your penalties, and the penalties have been huge for Georgia Tech. A couple penalties in the red zone, a big penalty on Duke's touchdown drive, and of course that one pushes Georgia Tech into a punt formation.
Ryan Rodwell comes on to punt. Jamison Crowder standing in his own 10. Crowder at the 7. Crowder breaks the tackle and then finally tripped up at the 17-yard line. 43-yard punt. Pretty good hang time, but a good 11-yard return by Crowder. Stone Mountain here outside of Atlanta. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Welcome back. 9:13 to play in the first half. Terrific ball game to this point. Duke still leads 7-6. First down at the 18. This is Barnes around the corner, and a good gain by Barnes, finally tackled by Johnson, but a big gain of 8. Let's take a look at what's on the Ruby Tuesday game menu for today in the ACC. Florida State and Syracuse. We've given you some updates on that. Jameis Winston with a touchdown is 24-6. Miami rebounding.
Yeah, Miami coming back after their loss here, and obviously games later. Louisville, Clemson, very intriguing, and North Carolina taking on Notre Dame in South Bend tonight.
Josh Snead picks up a first down for Duke. Demond Smith made the tackle.
I think Duke's been pretty resilient here today, running the football and really just kind of operate. This is a 5-0 Georgia Tech team, kind of flying high. Duke kind of flies in under the radar after losing at Miami 2 weeks ago, and really operated pretty well.
Absolutely nothing there for McCaffrey.
But a good play by Milton on the corner. Almost had the interception earlier on the bubble screen. In this play, he slides up, defeats the block, and tackles McCaffrey at the line of scrimmage.
David Cutcliffe took Duke to the 2013 championship game in the ACC. When most fans, that was impossible to do at Duke. He did it. Boone has it knocked away, and now the whistle blows.
Tyler Stargell uses his head to knock this one down. Big defensive end. Orange Beach, Alabama. Just rushing upfield, realizes they're trying to get the ball in the flat. Sometimes your head can work to bat the ball down. The big fella Milo Sarge will get it on the ground.
Duke only 1 for 4 on third down conversions. Blue Devils need 8. Pressure incomplete, and a flag comes out. He was riding his back.
Boy, they got good pressure. Georgia Tech did by Isaiah Johnson with the strong safety blitz. But what the official looks for is, does the shoulder of the receiver change as Melton comes over the top to try to bat away with the left hand?
Yeah, I don't know, because Melton and Golden both.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 6. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. On that, first down.
Let's take a look at the pressure. Isaiah Johnson going to come in and get in the face of Boone. When you look at the back end, let's see what happens here. See, it's the right arm. When you hook the receiver with the upfield arm and you turn the shoulders, you're going to get that flag. I think what Paul doesn't like about it is, I don't think had there been no interference, I don't think the ball could have been caught. But that's the thing that's bothering Paul.
I was going to make the point, both defensive backs looked guilty and started claiming innocence right away. That's never good. Boone's in trouble. Now throws it away. Tyler McCourtis chased him out. Topple's special teams player last year, had the pursuit.
Now McCourtis is going to get the pressure right here. He's going to come around the edge. You're going to also get Gostis, number 96, through the middle. McCourtis, and then Gostis is going to show up with some pressure as well. So good job by a team that struggled pressuring the quarterback this year, Georgia Tech up front.
Second down and 10, quarterback draw. Boone has the first down. And Boone down to the 46. Great call by Duke. Finally, P.J. Paul Davis makes the tackle after a gain of 14.
A big block by Sean Wilson, the running back, right here. There's a key block on McCourtis, the guy we just called out. And then good job of getting up the field on the quarterback draw by the big fellas. But talked about Anthony Boone, dual threat guy, and got his run game going there.
Clock continues to move. 7:15 to play. Snead in the game. Boone throws a strike for another first down to Jamison Crowder.
Boy, he just ripped this one in there. Jamison Crowder running the comeback route at the top of your screen here, working against DJ White. Just an excellent route. Great timing by Boone, and he shot it out of there.
Crowder's first catch of the afternoon. They have to get him more involved.
How about the balance now, running and throwing the football? Perfect for David Cutler.
Straight ahead. Snead into the second level. Snead inside the 20. DJ White tripped him up.
Good hard running by Snead, and a missed tackle in the middle by Quayshawn Neely. 54 is going to step in the hole right there and miss the tackle. Give some credit to Josh Snead. He's only 5'9", 190 pounds. Just ran right through the tackle, the middle linebacker.
See the red zone offense numbers. Almost 60%. Crowder at the top of the screen. This is Snead. Gets a handful of them.
But what it's doing, Tim, is it's really setting up the ability to be balanced on offense. They're getting enough on first down running the football that I think really Ted Roos having a tough time trying to dial something up. He's just trying to stop the run right now, and we saw how open Crowder was on the last throw. So right now, David Cutcliffe and Anthony Boone have it going their way.
Little Sean Wilson comes into the game, the true freshman. Boone on second down has the blitz. Look out, almost picked off. Caught by Boone. That's a double pass, and that's illegal. Boone would have been better just throwing it out of bounds, but it still would have been a double pass.
Well, what he would have done is just knock the ball down. When a quarterback situation like that, the ball comes back at you, knock the football down. You can't throw it twice, as you just mentioned, and you're going to get tackled for a loss, so just bat it down. It's an incomplete pass.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. Number 7, 5-yard penalty on the spot of the foul, and a loss of down. Third down.
Well, nice job by Georgia Tech. Kyle Davis elevates, bats the ball in the air. Ball tipped around. Looked like, Dominic Noble actually batted the ball in the air. But then the double pass, as we just explained, obviously everybody knows you can't do that, but in the heat of the battle, you're trying to do something. But Anthony Boone would better serve to just knock that football away. They had the perfect play call on him, and they were lucky the ball wasn't intercepted.
Fans on their feet. Boone steps up, throws deep, has a man. It's caught at the 6. McCaffrey goes out of bounds with it. That should be enough for the first. DeMond Smith was beaten.
Well, it's DeMond Smith that is the guy around the play, but really poorly played by Georgia Tech. They're just playing a deep zone, and he doesn't get any help from the corner. You see Milton back to the inside. He chased to the inside in that situation. He's trying to play deep, and they can have him throw the ball underneath.
Thomas Sirkin at quarterback for Duke. Wildcat, right side. No signal yet. Touchdown, Duke. Sirk comes into the game and scores the touchdown.
Well, Sirk, we talked about how he's inserted in the game at 6'4", 225 pounds. Just going to lean forward. Really, all that is just power straight ahead, and the big fella leans across. They split Anthony Boone out and bring Sirk in as the red zone run guy. And second time we've seen it today. This time it was successful.
So Ross Martin comes on for the extra point. And the extra point is good. Big plays by the Blue Devils. First to McCaffrey. And then Sirk in 10. The option. Reverses field, and there's nobody there. Here comes Thomas. Across midfield to the 44-yard line. Justin Thomas finally caught from behind by DeWalt Andujo after a gain of 19 yards.
Okay, watch what Justin Thomas sees. Look at all the Duke defenders. Freeze it right there, guys. Look at all the Duke defenders on this side of the field. He's going to come back this way with the ball. Nobody backside. Picks up a few backside blocks. That's what makes this kid so difficult to defend. He's got great speed. He can reverse his field.
Straight ahead, Lasky carrying tacklers down close to the 40.
It's an important drive for Georgia Tech, Tim. They've moved the ball fairly well, but have short-circuited in the red zone. A couple penalties, some things like that, and I don't think that Paul Johnson overly is excited about how his defense has played so far. They really haven't been able to stop Duke. So Jim Knowles' defense testing this Georgia Tech offense.
Here's the option backside again, and it's covered pretty well this time by the Blue Devils. Keep in mind, a couple of years ago, Duke jumped on Tech's defense 10-0, but then the Yellow Jackets ripped off 49 unanswered and won that game 49-10.
Well, the assignment football we talked about for David Cutcliffe's team has really paid dividends so far. Another good job there as they take care of business. Go down to Rachel on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, I talked to David Helton, the middle linebacker for Duke, this week, and he talked about the small victories within their game. That 3 or 4 yards is a big deal for them, and they go for it on 4th down. If you can limit them to 2 to 3 yards and get a tackle for the loss, that's a victory against this triple option.
Thomas on the quarterback draw picks up the first down. Bruce makes the tackle. It is the first 3rd down conversion for Georgia Tech this afternoon. Thomas picks up 8.
Well, Tim, it's so hard to defend the triple option anyway, but then when you just drop back like normal teams do and run a quarterback draw, it's another element that's brought into it. So not only do you have to defend a normal offensive set, dropping and throwing the ball, you got the triple option, and then you get something like that where you got a guy that's got multifaceted like Justin Thomas.
Paul Johnson down at the 34 yells out something. This is Bostic around the left side. They are picking up good yardage.
Well, this is the area of the field they've kind of short-circuited for themselves, closing in on that red zone. But that's that play that I think Georgia Tech runs is maybe better than anybody, is the wide toss play. They really lure you into that in-the-box running game, and the next thing you know, they flank you to the outside because their perimeter blockers are so good.
Jeremy Cash, defensively for Duke, has excelled today in run game support. He's a disruptor. Paul Johnson talked to him about us this week. He knows how good he can be. 2nd down and 4. Thomas again looked at the run. Now he rolls right with plenty of time and throws it out of bounds. That ball was not catchable.
Well, actually, Zinnin steps out of bounds, so it makes him ineligible on the play, so there's no flag. Tony Zinnin, number 9, was the intended receiver, and I agree with you, Tim. I'm not sure the ball was catchable, but Zinnin created the problem by stepping out of bounds.
Paul Johnson came out on the field, still on the field.
Yeah, Zinnin's going to be out. See, Zinnin's out of bounds, so it doesn't matter what Cash does.
Paul Johnson now walks off the field at about the 30.
Well, so here we are again with another 3rd down with Georgia Tech deep, and Duke has been really good in this situation.
They want to adjust the clock.
Yeah, I want to get the play clock. Georgia Tech, for all intent and purposes, this is a 4-down situation. I think Paul Johnson feels like he's got to come away with 7 here if they get something out of 3rd down. If they don't, then obviously the field goal unit comes on.
3rd down and 4 for the Yellow Jackets. Backside pressure. Thomas steps up and he's got plenty of room. Down to the 10. Oh my.
Jim Knowles had the perfect defense dialed up. He's got a corner blitz coming off the backside. Let's take a look at it. He's going to get Borders. The corner's going to come off the edge, and he's in perfect position to take Thomas down, but he steps out of the tackle. And again, Justin Thomas, just creating on his own, extends the drive for Georgia Tech.
Lasky comes back in for the Yellow Jackets. Under a minute to play in the first half. Can Duke hold again? Or will Georgia Tech push it in? Lasky stumbles down to about the 7.
Boy, Duke's really doing a good job when they get down close of taking care of those interior gap areas.
Timeout, Yellow Jackets. We'll be back after this word from the ACC. Tire Pros giving you a chance to win a new set of tires, wheels, and a VIP trip for 2 to the ACC Championship. Check out their ride and style sweepstakes, and you could be on your way to an all-expenses-paid trip to the football championship game and get a new set of Continental tires and Monster wheels. All you have to do is enter today at theacc.com/tirepros. Clouds rolling in. Georgia Tech on the move. Yellow Jackets swarming. Duke trying to hold them out again. Throw into the flats to Lasky. Lasky continues to stay on his feet, but then is knocked down by the pursuit, and Helton knocked him out of bounds.
Well, Lasky does a good job of staying on his feet here. Jeremy Cash is the guy that's going to come in, an excellent sure tackler for Duke. He misses the tackle there. Lasky tries to stay alive, but again, a good job by Duke to rally up and force 3rd down inside the red zone now, inside the 5. Duke has done a good job of really being tough down here close.
Plenty of time in the half, 45 seconds. 3rd down and goal from the 4. Mark it just inside the 5. Thomas, pitch, Lasky. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Good solid decision, good quick decision to get Lasky the ball hunted downhill, and the big B-back slams it in over the pylon for the touchdown. What an excellent job by Duke, and this will be one that you always take a look at the scoring plays. Does Lasky break the plane here at the end of this play? He's got the ball in the outside arm, which is where it's supposed to be. Good hit at the goal line by Duke, and you'd have an argument that maybe Norman kept him out of the end zone.
Yeah, and Norman knocked over the pylon, not Lasky.
But the official standing right on the pylon, he felt like that Lasky broke the plane. And I'm not sure from those looks we just saw, Tim, is there anything definitive that's going to flip it over? So the official right there makes the call in real time. Looks like he may have to go with that call.
Exactly right. Call on the field is a touchdown. Indisputable video evidence is now needed to overturn it. And we didn't show it to you there.
Now Georgia Tech that time, they thrown some balls to the slot area. They split Zinn and out in that slot again and then ran option away from it. And really a good quick decision by Justin Thomas on the option to get Lasky the football.
I'm surprised it's taken this long. Now here they come.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
They love it here at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Now Georgia Tech will line up and go for 2. There is no sign of Harrison Butker, the kicker.
Now what Duke has done down here close now is they've really stressed the gaps of the blocking scheme, meaning they've got a defender in every gap almost as the ball snapped, not coming from depth, just as the ball snapped. Let's see if they continue with the aggressive play here on this 2-point conversion. Duke's going to burn a timeout to talk it over.
David Cutcliffe ran all the way down to the 10 to make that call. The ACC and your local Toyota dealers are unlocking ACC archives. You can relive over 60 classic football games, and it's for free. Let me take you back to the window of time 5 years ago. Georgia Tech upset number 4 Virginia Tech. Yellow Jackets completed only 1 pass all game, but rushed for 309 yards, and Josh Nesbitt ran for 122 on 23 carries. He also scored 3 touchdowns. An upset over the Hokies. Visit theacc.com/vault. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, no disrespect to the other quarterbacks that have played here since Nesbitt, but Justin Thomas is the best quarterback they've had running this system since Joshua Nesbitt ran it. He was a big, strong player, helped lead him to an Orange Bowl.
So 40 seconds remain in the half. Georgia Tech has just scored. Yellow Jackets are going for 2. It's 14-12.
Duke creeping up defensively.
Straight ahead. Lasky met at the goal line. Not going to make it. Not going to make it.
Boy, what a good job by Duke to take away the #1 option. Straight ahead, looks like he's going to get there, and then all of a sudden, look at the blue hats come and help put him on the ground. Helton at the bottom, DeWalt and Dijou in there, and of course the reactions of the 2 coaches. Cutcliffe likes his defensive effort there. And boy, nice job by that Duke defense to hold the lead.
And I can guarantee you Zach Lasky doesn't like it one bit. He told us yesterday he never likes to lose yardage, always likes to pick up 2 or 3 just going forward, which he takes great pride in. Was unable to get the yardage there for the 2-point conversion.
So take a look here on the goal line. Lasky. Yeah, there's no question about it. Good initial hit there by that swarming Duke defense, and they kept Lasky out of the end zone. So
how about that, partner? Wow.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. No good on the try.
Well, let's go back to Charlotte. Check in with the studio, Tom and Tommy. All right, Tommy, you're right. David Cutcliffe 0 for 6 against Georgia Tech. Hasn't beaten them yet. Got the lead going into halftime, though, so far with 40 seconds left. Well, the Haviland Defensive Player of the Week, Kendall Fuller, Virginia Tech, the sophomore cornerback. 4 tackles, 4 pass breakups to go along with that 47-yard interception return late in the first half. Last Saturday's win over Carolina.
Heck of a player. He's the 4th Fuller in the Fuller family to score a touchdown for the Hokies. And his brother will be in the big building here just down the street, the Georgia Dome, as the Chicago Bears come to town. Kyle Fuller, who leads the NFL interceptions, will be playing corner for the Bears.
Very talented family. Here's the give, safe play. Sean Wilson holds on to the football as time continues to tick away. You see it up there in the right-hand corner of the screen. 30, 29, 28.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Georgia Tech doesn't have enough timeouts to influence what happens here, so that would probably be, I would think, the last play of the half. A good solid effort by Duke coming in here. Georgia Tech coming in on a roll 5-0, and Duke has really played well here in the first half on both sides of the ball.
Georgia Tech has won 10 straight games over Duke by an average of 21 points. Offense certainly gets the credit, but Tech's defense has been solid for Ted Roof. But they trail by 2 at the half to David Cutcliffe and Duke. Right now, Coach Cutcliffe is with Rachel.
Coach, in the first half, you've been able to have some success on the ground and through the air and play the ball control game. Talk about that success.
Well, I think because our defense has played so well, we've been able to play offense like we want to play it. If we hadn't given up the big kickoff return, we may have had less points than what we did. It's going to be a war. It's a well-played game by both teams. It's going to take 60 minutes. I'm looking forward to seeing how well we come out and compete.
And how big was that for momentum for your team in the second half, that goal line stand there for 2?
Well, it's huge. And we've played well down here before, but we haven't played well for 4 quarters, and that's what I'm getting ready to remind them of. And if we'll play disciplined, hard, smart football, we've got a shot at this.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Let's send it back to the studio with Tom and Tommy.
With Bobby Dodd.
All right, fellas, thank you very much back here at Bobby Dodd Stadium as we prepare to start the second half. Your key early on is what?
Well, I think that Coach Bowden talked about how important it is to get Jamison Crowder involved, and I think they tried to do that early in the game, but Crowder didn't respond. So next thing you know, McCaffrey steps up. You saw Josh Snead step up. Other guys stepped up. Now it's time for Crowder to bring that All-American status back to the game. For Georgia Tech, they've got to execute in the red zone. They've moved the ball extremely well. They possessed the ball for only 17 minutes in the first half. What they've got to do is they got to finish drives.
Yeah, and Sean Wilson showed how dangerous he can be, and that too got the attention of the Georgia Tech defense. All right, we're just about set. ACC football is brought to you in high definition by your local Tire Pros dealer. Win tires, wheels, and a trip for 2 to the ACC championship game at the ACC.com/TirePros. Georgia Tech will have it first here to start the second half. Duke won the toss before the game, but they elected to receive. Strategy to keep the ball away from Georgia Tech, which dominates the time of possession ordinarily.
Well, and Georgia Tech had one of those long drives the first time they touched it, so it was warranted. But now Georgia Tech going to get open up the second half with the football here. And last time Jamal Golden drifted deep for a kick return, he almost took it to the house.
It was a 75-minute delay at Grant Field at Bobby Dodd Stadium. Undefeated Georgia Tech trails Duke by 2 as we prepare to start the second half after that long lightning suspension. Jack Willoughby will kick off. Jamal Golden standing inside the goal line. Not all of the crowd has come back, but those who did are vociferous. Golden, a yard deep, will not bring it out. And so a touchback, and they'll bring it out.
Now Justin Thomas gets ready to hit the field. Just 4 possessions for Georgia Tech. Now they had the 2 long ones that bookend that graphic right there. 2 70-plus yard drives ended up in the 10 points of the 12 that they have now. But what Duke was able to do is they were able to put some long drives together as well, and that's limited Georgia Tech's possessions.
If you're just joining us, Justin Thomas is the quarterback. Lasky is the fullback, the B-back in this offense. And they are usually the getters. Here's Lasky. And a whole host of Blue Devils are there to stop him after a gain of 4.
Dewald does an excellent job. Now, Helton is the guy that ends up brushing it up and making the tackle. But Dewald the defensive end, number 94, been very active today. Did a nice job of stopping Lasky and making Lasky restart the engine, which allowed Helton to get there.
So to bring up 2nd down and 6. A long yard. Looks like 2nd and 7 almost. Thomas looks over the defense. And Thomas keeps it. Look out. He's in the second level. And almost broke it loose to the 47-yard line. DeAndre Singleton made the tackle after a gain of 18.
Now the quick decision making, you hand to Lasky, now you get the lead play. This is essentially an I-formation lead play. You got Sinnen leading right through the hole, and that's one of the adjustments that Paul Johnson made. Instead of the pitchback being in behind, he falls in front of Justin Thomas and leads him through the hole on what essentially is just an I-formation ISO lead play.
So great field position now for the Yellow Jackets to the 47. First down. And Lasky loses the football. Football's loose. Duke says they have it. No signal yet.
It certainly looked like there were a lot of Duke defenders around the football. I'd be surprised if they didn't come up with this. Lasky really the only Georgia Tech player that was around the ball trying to fall on his own fumble.
Not good for Duke that it's taken this long. Yes, sir. Blue Devils have it. Turnover, Lasky.
Well, we threw up the graphic leading into the game that Lasky had only been tackled for a loss 3 of 107 plays. This time he gets hit in the backfield, and then the ball raked out by Bruce, the big defensive tackle, and Jeremy Cash. And on Dijou, a number of Duke defenders are there, but how about Bruce tackle and raking out, and Jeremy Cash and a number of other Duke defenders are there.
See the turnover margin. Perkins came out with a football, and Paul Johnson wants to know why it's not Georgia Tech football. Bottom line is Duke has it. First down. Around the corner goes Crowder. And they will try to get him involved here in the second half. Pick up a 4.
I talked about the explosive ability of Jamison Crowder. He returns punts, so what are you going to do? Set as many situations up as you can for Crowder to be impactful. You look at Duke's possessions in the first half, 2 touchdowns in the middle there that give them the lead.
Second down. Straight ahead. That's Wilson.
Ball out.
Ball's loose. Georgia Tech has it. Turnover to start the second half.
Now this is very close to Wilson being on the ground here, Tim. Let's look. Jamal Golden 4 comes in to make the hit.
He's down.
He looks like it's down before it looks like Paul Davis rips the ball out. Number 40. Golden and Davis are there. And I think you're going to find that Wilson's knee was on the ground before Davis was able to rake it out with the right hand.
Now a big ingredient here is the fact that on the field it was called a fumble, so you need indisputable video evidence to overturn it. But that first look looked like his knee did hit.
Yeah, here's the look. Look at the right knee of Wilson. And when does the ball come loose? Knees down, and now the ball's being raked out by Davis. I think that that's going to be a reversal, and Duke will maintain possession. Good job of Davis. We talked about how active he is trying to get the ball out.
Paul Johnson watching the big screen here in the stadium very closely.
It's a bang-bang play, but it looked like the right knee touchdown before Davis was able to rake it out of Wilson's hands.
Yeah, and to me, this is a big indicator if, in fact, replay works, because this is one that certainly, to me, looks like there's indisputable video evidence that he had it until he was technically down with the knee hitting.
Well, what they're doing here now is this is going to be flipped over, Tim. So what they're trying to figure out, okay, what's the down and distance? Got to get the chains reset. So they're checking upstairs with what those numbers look like. Where was the original line of scrimmage so they can reset the chains? Because it's going to be a third down play for Duke coming up. So that's what they're checking on. Time up the clock. When does the clock need to be started? How does all that work? So trying to work out all the particulars. But I think Duke's going to retain possession here.
Well, this afternoon, part of the ingredient of the win will be how mentally tough these players are, because this game has been incredibly long. I mean, we had the 77-minute delay from the lightning strikes, and now this. Here's the call.
After review, the ball carrier's knee was down prior to the ball coming loose. It'll be third down at the 40-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 13 minutes and 8 seconds. 13 minutes and 8 seconds. Third down.
like it here at Bobby Dodd Stadium, but it is the correct call.
Well, this makes it 3rd down and 4 now, and David Cutcliffe immediately put his veteran running back in the game. Josh Snead in the game. The freshman Wilson, who just put the ball on the ground, albeit after his knee was down, is standing next to the coach on the sideline.
3rd down and 4. Now the down marker's broken. Sean Wilson is in the ball game next to Boone.
Well, fortunately, that wasn't in the trunk of your car, so they were able just to go get it, and we're all set.
Crowd on its feet. Boone steps up, throws, has a first down. This is Crowder. And Crowder down inside the 30, a pickup of 12. Isaiah Johnson
going
makes
to
the
come
stop.
with pressure. Crowder isolated on the safety in the slot, runs the out route. Isaiah Johnson playing hard inside technique. Once you roll to the out route with the 2 outside receivers clearing, a lot of room out there for Boone to take Crowder. Pretty easy throw and catch, quarterback receiver.
Jamison Crowder's 2nd catch of the ball game. Sirk goes to the top of the screen, the backup quarterback. And Boone's arm was hit when he let it go. Incomplete. It looked like it was Freeman.
That's Keyshawn Freeman, the freshman, going to come off the edge, and he's been active today. Defeats the block of the tight end and gets there just in time to disrupt the arm of Anthony Boone for 2nd and long.
Fought through a hold.
I think the crowd here wanted the ball maybe out before he delivered it. Looked like the arm was coming forward, though.
2nd down and 10. This is Wilson. Boy, he's got quick feet. And he's giving his defense fits. Picks up 7.
Yeah, he does a good job of making people miss. And Wilson back in the game after laying the ball on the ground. Watch him make Desmond Smith miss right here in the hole. Excellent job of running in tight quarters. You can see why they're so excited about the freshman. At 245 earlier against Kansas earlier in the season. They're excited about his future.
McCaffrey, Blakeney, Crowder. All wide for Duke. Blakeney at the top of the screen.
Yeah, Duke having a tough time getting lined up in the proper formation.
So the Blue Devils take timeout. Coach not happy. 12:04 to play in the 3rd. We'll be back.
ACC football is brought to you by Toyota, official corporate champion of the ACC. By Geico, official corporate champion of the ACC. By AT&T, official sponsor of the ACC. And by Ruby Tuesday, official corporate champion of the ACC.
Over at Centennial Olympic Park, one of the great attractions here in Atlanta.
Yeah, the aquarium is spectacular. Take you down there, Tim, and let you swim with the whale shark. Be a lot of fun for you.
They'll confuse me as one of their brothers. 3rd down and 3. This is Snead, and Snead pushes it past the 1st down marker, I do believe. 1st down.
This lineup come off the ball. We've talked about this veteran offensive line and how big they are, and really that's all it was. Just shoulder to shoulder come off and try to create enough push where Josh Snead could fall forward for the 1st down, and Duke now in the red zone and really controlling the game right now.
Picking up the tempo, 1st down, in and out. Here we go, straight ahead. Big hole. Into the secondary goes Snead inside the 10 and still on his feet all the way down to the 7.
And we talked to Ted Roof yesterday. He talked about the premium on tackling, and he felt like his guys just hadn't tackled very well. Quayshawn Neely's had a number of opportunities today, and he's come up empty a few. And those few times he's come up empty, Josh Snead has been able to pick up some big yardage.
Thomas Sirk now at quarterback. Second down and short. Sirk keeps his feet moving and drives his way down inside the 5. 1st and goal for the Blue Devils.
A big, impressive athlete is Thomas Sirk. He's a guy that was coming back off an Achilles tendon injury from a few years ago, Tim. And he's a guy that really, David Cutcliffe's been excited to finally get him back and get him involved.
Boone back in the game now along with Snead. First down and goal. Straight ahead goes Snead. Touchdown, Duke. Josh Snead, 4 yards.
Well, you have to be impressed at the way Duke is just simply coming off the ball and challenging Georgia Tech physically. They're just running the ball right at this Tech defense. No secret. Big guys coming off the ball, and then the backs are running really physical, whether it's Cirk, the quarterback, or Snead. Caught a little bit of a break in the fact that Wilson's knee was on the ground, and it was not a fumble at midfield, which would have given the ball back to Tech, and they cashed that in.
So Ross Martin comes on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. And the kick is good. It started with the fumble. The Blue Devils with a takeaway. They turned it into a touchdown, 21-12. Well, the Duke Blue Devils, after getting that fumble, took it right down against the Yellow Jackets, jammed it right down their throats and got the touchdown. So Jack Willoughby comes on to kick it away, and Jamal Golden will be standing just inside his end zone. This will take him about 4 yards deep. He'll bring it out. Golden looks for a block, gets into the second level. Look out across the 30, still on his feet. Across the 45, midfield, and into Duke territory. A return of 51 yards. A lot of excitement here, a lot of excitement across the country. Let's go back to the studio. Here's Tom and Tommy. All right, Tom, thank you. You know, this happened earlier in the ballgame. We're looking at Jamal Golden. He's still down, but he looks like he's going to be okay as the medical staff attends to him. But Duke scored in the first half, and then a 68-yard return by Georgia Tech. Here's a big return, 51 yards after the Duke score here.
Well, Golden came in number 2 in the ACC in returns. You're going to see a hit right there at the end. That's why Golden's down. That's the hit. I think more than anything else, it was the wind. He whacked his head on the ground. I think he's okay. He's up. Obviously, Georgia Tech hope he's okay because he's a starting safety for him as well. But, yeah, 2 big returns by Jamal Golden. And the guy, that's how he made his name as a Yellow Jacket, and now part of their secondary as well. So he's been a big impact so far.
First down and 10, Georgia Tech. Lasky with a big hole. That should be enough for a first down.
Well, one of the top tacklers for this Duke football team that's played in the box all day long is Jeremy Cash, number 16. And they needed a big day from him, seeing he's playing outside, kind of take away the option. But once it's declared that the ball's inside, Cash has a nose for the football, and he goes in there, but not before Lasky has a first down. Jeremy Cash, one of the top tacklers in the ACC.
Thomas on first down keeps it and picks up 5. Carlos Ray made the tackle.
They've talked about that Duke front 4, and namely their interior 2 defenders, along with number 47, the middle linebacker Helton, had to take away that interior run game, and they've done a nice job. They created a fumble in the last series of down. You see Duke and Georgia Tech virtually deadlocked from a number standpoint, yards in the game. So Georgia Tech's got to answer here after Duke scored.
Thomas now over 100 yards rushing, but this time he throws. And it's complete. No, incomplete. It looked like Smelter had it, but it's called incomplete.
Well, Justin Thomas tries to throw this on the back shoulder, throws it on a line to Smelter. Let's see if Smelter digs this one out. Wow. Hard to tell here. It looks like Smelter may have the hands underneath the football.
Okay, now it is called a catch on the
have
field.
to take a look at that. I'd call that a catch.
Well, they are reviewing it, but it was called a catch on the field, or incomplete on the field. So to make it a catch, it'd have to be indisputable video
It
evidence.
certainly looks like Smelter's hands are underneath the football. The problem is, does the nose of the football touch the ground in between the hands? Right there is the nose of the ball on the ground.
And I think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, and I think there's enough there where you're not quite sure that this is going to. There was enough there where they couldn't confirm that the hands was underneath the ball, so I can understand them not flipping that over. Just not enough information there, or enough visual proof, as you said, Tim, to turn it over.
So it will bring third down to the Yellow Jackets.
Number 1 in the nation coming in was Paul Johnson's team on third down, and Duke has forced them to convert in this situation.
They're only 3 of 6 third down conversions. Trying to set up the screen, incomplete. And Duke has held again.
I don't think that this is necessarily Georgia Tech now. This is a long field goal, and they're going to go ahead and bring out the unit. Actually, they're going to punt it. They're going to go ahead and try to pin Duke deep here, it looks like. No, they're going to try the long field goal. Apologize.
Harrison Butker is on to attempt it. It'll be 52 yards. He has not attempted a field goal this long this year. His longest is 46. Good snap, good hold. It's long enough, but it's wide right, and Duke has held.
Now, once again, Duke forces the third down situation and finds a way to win on third down. There's Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator, with those fancy wristbands on, and he's excited about the way his defense is playing in key moments. A little word for Norman, who's playing a major role in trying to stop this run game.
Jim Knowles said that if the down linemen have a good day, Duke will have a good day, and they have. First down, Devils. Little hook, complete. And Barnes to the 42, 43-yard line.
That's a nice play call right there by Scotty Montgomery. Quick throw to the outside against the sophomore.
Our First and 10 is brought to you by YP.com. The even more powerful yellow pages. One app, one site. YP can do that.
Tim, you're always trying to steal yardage. If you see a single high safety, the corner's got to get off. You got an easy throw to the outside. That was what they took advantage of on that last play.
Second down and short. Boone looking long, going for it all. Incomplete. Terrific coverage by Chris Milton.
Boy, Milton does a good job of being in the right position. He's got good leverage to the outside. Jamison Crowder, the speedster, going to try to go over the top. Look at Milton's positioning. He's outside. He sees the ball all the way, gets there just as the ball arrives, and disrupts Crowder enough to where it's an incompletion. That's a good play by Chris Milton.
Third down. And Josh Snead pushes it forward. They needed 2. He got 3.
Well, Georgia Tech comes with pressure off the edge with Neely, but really they've been hurt to the inside in this zone read running game with Snead going straight ahead. And he does a nice job of falling forward for a first down.
Now all of a sudden, Arch, it's Duke with the time of possession advantage here in the second half.
We talked about Georgia Tech and their prowess on third down. Duke's been outstanding today on third down as well.
First down, Devils. Big hole for Snead. Snead gets a block. Snead gets another block. Inside the 40 to the 35. Josh Snead.
Well, I think you may get a late face mask here, too, on Georgia Tech. The ball that came in right at the end.
Paul Johnson was upset with the penalties in the first half. Here's the call.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's 7 penalties against the Yellow Jackets.
We talk about being gap conscious. 2 Georgia Tech defenders are going to get it up in that gap, and Snead's going to step around it. They get him pinned to the inside. Snead steps around it. Good blocking up front. Just running to daylight. And then a big penalty on the back end.
Josh Snead over 100 yards. Joseph Ajabi comes into the ball game now. He's the running back. This is Barnes. Well covered. Neely and Austin were there in a hurry.
This is where Duke has been able to rely on your running game. If you can run the ball in the red zone, really from a defense standpoint, you're vulnerable because you can't really play zone. You got to come up and stop the run, and that makes you vulnerable against man coverage in the back end.
Here's the give straight ahead. This is Ajabi. Ajabi had nowhere to run. He picks up 2. And again, Neely is there.
Now, nice play as well by Paul Davis. Let's take a listen to this one. As your great friend Keith Jackson used to say, you can really hit another poppin'.
That shows you KJ remembered that when they had leather pads. Duke is 5 for 8 on 3rd down conversions. But this one's significant. Here they come, and it's knocked down off the corner. Travis got in the passing lane and knocked it down.
Boy, what a huge play on 3rd down for Georgia Tech. And Kyle Davis is turned loose in the protection up front. Davis going to come off this side and really not block, just elevates and bats it down. Good job of closing on the quarterback and then getting up and knocking the ball down, but just didn't account for him in the protection. Clean to get to the quarterback.
So now Ross Martin comes on to attempt the field goal. He's 2 for 2 from this distance. This one's long enough. And good from 34 yards out. Ross Martin tacks 3 more for the Devils. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Football is brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's bow time. And how about this? It's bow time and it's Duke time right now. 24-12 Duke.
Well, there's Jamal Golden sitting on the sidelines. Took the big hit after that big return, his 2nd of the day. And Broderick Snoddy has drifted deep as the return man.
This is returnable. The up back takes it. And this is Hill. And Deion Hill takes it to the, I'll say, the 29-yard line.
Well, the onus is square on this Georgia Tech offense now as they've got to get something going. 6:03 left here, 3rd quarter, and Duke has controlled the football game. Did a nice job of possessing it and put points on the board when they had the opportunity. And now Georgia Tech, who's really dictated in their first 5 games on offense, has got to do that now if they want to get back in this.
Arch, it's going to be interesting. That's a heck of a point. It's going to be interesting to see how they react. 5-0. See if the pressure starts to build on him here. Here's Thomas with the fake and takes it around the corner and picks up a handful of yards. Let's go back to Charlotte. Here's Tom and Tommy.
Turnovers for North Carolina, 14-0.
Wow.
Wow, a shocker in South Bend.
Clock continues to move here. Immediate throw and a stiff arm by Summers. Summers could not break completely away and keep his balance. Gain of 5. Singleton was there.
Well, good job. Looked like Breon Borders got just enough of him at the corner spot to allow Singleton to come over and finish the tackle. And David Cutcliffe talked about at halftime with Rachel. One of the things they needed to do was tackle better here in the 2nd half. Those one-on-one plays are what lead to victory.
Aaron Waller comes to the bottom of the screen here. It's 3rd down and a long one. It's the quick pitch outside, and it should be a 1st down. It is. Deion Hill, who had the return, picks up 5. They only needed 1.
Really a nice job here of play call by Paul Johnson. You see a lot of Duke defenders crowding inside, expecting Lasky on that short yardage play, and he goes with the wide toss to Dion Hill. So we're going to start seeing him mix it up a little bit. I would imagine you're going to see Justin Thomas throw it a little bit more here as we start to get close to the fourth quarter, but also the perimeter plays. Those toss plays are going to have to be more pronounced.
Jackets first down. Throw up. This is Waller. Waller breaks the tackle. He's loose down to the 31-yard line. Jeremy Cash, who's been all over the field, finally makes the tackle.
How do I make a pass play look like a run play? Show option in the backfield. You see the corner leave to go help in the run game, and all of a sudden Waller, the big 6'6" receiver, is wide open outside. So Paul Johnson making adjustments to try to account for the fact that Duke's done a pretty good job of that interior 8 against the run.
This is about as sharp as the Yellow Jackets have looked all afternoon. Here comes Thomas again. Pitches out wide, and this time no gain. Tony Zenon had nowhere to run.
Well, Brian Fields does a good job on the corner spot, and that's, we talk about how you got to block on the perimeter. The block on the perimeter key. There's one there. You need that one there, and you can see Perkins on the ground. He did not get the block on Fields, and Fields makes the play.
If you're just joining us, we had a storm come through as the first half ended. We had lightning, and there was a 77-minute delay, and they finally got the game going again. Here's Thomas. Wants to throw. Buys some time. Now throws it and almost has it picked off. That's a dangerous pass thrown back against across his body.
That's frustration by Justin Thomas. He does a really good job normally of taking care of the ball, and this one was up for grabs. He who rolls right throws back left normally sits next to coach on bench, and he's their best player, so obviously he's not going to sit next to Paul Johnson, but a poor decision there. They're lucky that they get a re-scrimmage here on third down.
Yeah, Paul Johnson had a few words with him there on the sideline. Most of that, I think, was the next play call, but he also, I'm sure, was telling him that's not a throw you want. Third down and long. They show option. It's the option reverse. There's plenty of room to run, and it's going to go down inside the 10. Close to it. Smelter had a wide open seam, and he took it. Singleton tripped him up. They'll say at the 11.
Little misdirection here. Make it look like option, pitch it like option, only here comes Smelter. And you see they're trying to build a wall for Smelter. The block at the bottom of the screen by Waller, and an unbelievable tackle by Singleton saves the touchdown. That's a big-time one-on-one tackle on Smelter.
They've caught Duke being over-aggressive a couple times. Here's Thomas, bounces to the outside and can't get away. The world Andijo made the tackle out there.
Well, he's played well. Jordan DeWalt and Andiju has played really well on the outside. There's Singleton who made that tackle. Jeremy Cash limps to the sideline. Now, Cash, a big part of this defense now. St. John Day's leaping out. You don't think it's physical? That guy's limping to both sidelines.
Under 2 minutes we go in the third quarter.
Now Cash out of the game. Got a backup player playing that spot.
Thomas, corner, intercepted. Intercepted by Duke. Carmichael, the linebacker, dropped back in coverage. There is a flag. Carmichael gets his second interception of the game of the year.
Personal foul on the offense. Face mask. That penalty is declined. Resulted in a flag. Duke football. First down.
And it stays.
Let's take a look at it, team. What they're going to try to do is slip out a player in the flat. But right here's Carmichael. He's just going to lose ground. And watch the quarterback's eyes. He just loses ground. Zenon is open if Justin Thomas had thrown it even into the end zone. But he tried to hand it to him. He short-armed it. And Carmichael makes the play, the true freshman.
So once again, the Duke defense gives plenty of ground, gives up yardage, but not the score. Gash it off the right side. Same thing. Ajibi.
Georgia Tech is Ted Roof is trying to creep extra defenders into the pocket. They're just having a tough time finding the right crease. It looked like Ajibi still down after that hit. Desmond Smith came up to make the play. Good hard running by the redshirt freshman Ajibi from Riverside, California.
Ajibi's had 29 yards in the last 2 carries.
Oh, got hit right in the area you don't want to get hit in, looked like, for a helmet. Lawrence Austin, another freshman on the field for Georgia Tech, the safety.
So he's up. They help him off the field. He'll run off. And Sean Wilson comes back in. Sean Wilson, only 5'9", and that's being generous. But he can really scoot. Let's go down to Rachel.
Yeah, guys, free safety Jamal Golden, 170 all-purpose yards today. He's been big for the Yellow Jackets. He is out for the game.
Wow. That means the freshman is in at safety for Georgia Tech.
First down and 10 at the 31. Big hole up the middle for Sean Wilson. To the 49-yard line, and Duke continues to roll.
McCourt is slow to get up, outside linebacker, but this big offensive line is just dominating the first and second level of the Georgia Tech defense. And the first guy to touch a runner so far in this drive has been safety. So Georgia Tech is going to have to commit more and more resources to the line of scrimmage, which is going to give Boone potentially an opportunity to make a play down the field throwing. They're going to make Georgia Tech stop the run first. If Georgia Tech can't stop the run, you're going to get a steady diet of it.
Well, that's going to bring us to the 4th quarter. So they hand up. Duke puts their hands high in the air saying 4 is ours. 4th quarter is ours.
Boy, and it has been. Duke, one of the best 4th quarter teams in the country, not just in the ACC.
Final 5 seconds of the 3rd quarter. So we'll take one as well. We'll take timeout when we come back. The final 15 minutes. It's Duke up on Georgia Tech. Will Georgia Tech suffer its first loss of the year? We'll find out after this. Today's coverage of ACC football is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the nearly 1 million men and women of the United States Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe and in 175 countries and on the high seas. We're so proud to have you with us and hope you're enjoying the broadcast on Military Appreciation Day at Georgia Tech. Right now, Duke in control of this ball game, 24-12. The Blue Devils trying to hold on and give the Yellow Jackets their first loss of the year. First down, Boone keeps it. Boone to the midfield stripe and runs out of bounds just inside of it. Well, Arch, take a look at the game summary. It has been a long game because of the lightning strikes, but pretty good game.
It's been a very good game, and it's really been Georgia Tech has not been able to do the things they normally do. Justin Thomas, it's been a kind of helter-skelter game for him. The rush yards he has have kind of been on broken plays, and he hasn't been as effective throwing the football. For Duke, they've done an outstanding job of mixing run and pass. Josh Snead's been outstanding.
So it's 2nd down and 5. Boone keeps it again. Runs laterally and lost a couple of yards from where he was. Gave up some. DJ White runs him out of bounds.
Well, all Duke is doing is they're spreading Georgia Tech's defense. They're making Georgia Tech declare what they want to do. Georgia Tech doesn't really want to play man coverage, but because the box, there's only 6 in the box, they're running the ball against the 6-man box, meaning 4 down linemen and 2 linebackers. Georgia Tech is going to have to gamble a little bit and get a number of people around the line of scrimmage to stop the run.
Thomas Sirk takes it off the left side. He's not going to get there enough for the first, I do not believe. Still on his feet. Depends where they blew the whistle. If they gave him forward progress, he got the first. Neely and Austin were wrestling with him, but he kept his feet and the whistle didn't blow.
Yeah, really late whistle on that play.
Boy, Paul Johnson doesn't like that.
Let's take a look and see. Yeah, but he's down enough more often than not. his forward progress had been stopped. How many times do you get a ball out and it's been determined that the forward progress was stopped? So kind of a late call, tough call there for Georgia Tech's defense.
They move the chains, getting first down. This is Ajibi. And hurdles a tackler to the 40-yard line inside the 40 to the 39. Gain of 6.
Duke's done a nice job running the football, and in one-on-one situations have been able to win. Paul Davis is clean right here. He's got to make that play for Georgia Tech. Ajibi gets the stiff arm and extends it up to a 5-yard play. A perfect first down play when you get 5. Duke has won the one-on-one battles with one-on-one tacklers from Georgia Tech.
Flanker screen. This is Blakeney. He'll be out close to another first down for Duke. Run out of bounds by Lawrence Austin, the freshman.
Well, there's the freshman that's in for Jamal Golden, and he's out where he's supposed to be. But still, the way Duke is playing and calling plays and the success they're having in the run game, Georgia Tech really at a loss right here how to stop them. And now coming up and going to play a lot. No safety in the middle of the field now. They're coming up and committing everybody to stop the run, playing man coverage.
And Josh Snead says, here I am, fellas, come get me. Picks up 2.
At some point, Ted Roof had to say, hey, you know what? I can't afford to have a safety in the middle of the field anymore. I've got to come up and play man across the board, and I've got to force Duke into a passing situation. Now, watch how Duke spreads the field. Duke's done a great job of spreading the field. Look, 2 receivers here, 2 receivers here. 4 deck defenders out of the box.
Second down. Ball almost came loose. It looked like Boone tried to pull it out from Snead.
Well, I think he did, Tim. I think it's a great call. I think that Boone wanted that ball back. And Snead clamped down on the zone read. And Boone kept this ball. There's nobody out there. And that's what he saw. He wanted the football. But Snead snatched it out of his hands, and a good play coming off the edge by Freeman. The freshman outside player, edge player, Deshaun Freeman has been good.
Sean Wilson comes back in. It's 3rd down and 10. Duke has been terrific in 3rd down conversions, but this is a big one. They need 10. Boone with time, throws, and it's caught. And it's a first down, depending on where the mark is. Blakeney was working against White. He'll be close.
I don't think he got there. He needed to get to the 24-yard line. The big receiver, Blakeney, 6'4", 6'5", about 215 pounds, fighting against White, the corner. And he's going to be short.
This is where I'd call for a measurement, just to see how much I need it.
Just under a yard, it looks like. And as well as Duke has run the football, I think Coach Cutcliffe believes this might be an opportunity to put a dagger in the heart of Georgia Tech.
Snead is in the ballgame as the running back. 13th play of the drive. It'll be close. Georgia Tech thinks they held.
Boy, again, it looked like Freeman, the freshman outside player, was able to knife in and get around the ball carrier.
I tell you, Arch, I've always thought when it's that short, why take a step back from your goal? If you're the quarterback, just jam it up in there. Try to find a seam.
Boy, just to the naked eye here, Tim, from where we're sitting, I don't think he got there.
I agree with you.
Good play by Freeman, 42, to get in around the waist of the runner. And I think Georgia Tech has held him.
I think so, too. Unless there's a kink in the chain, they didn't make it. They didn't. That is big. Game turner, we'll see.
Well, it's a big stop. They had not done anything really defensively to stop Duke from moving the football and to stop the run game on 4th and short there. That's a big one for Ted Roof's crew on defense. Now Georgia Tech comes right back in. Justin Thomas got to flush the mistake he made in the red zone the last time through the interception and get back to moving the football. So the onus falls right back on the young quarterback.
Expect Thomas and Lasky to have a big role here as we go down the final minutes. Thomas in trouble. Thomas escapes. Thomas still in trouble and throws incomplete. It was thrown to Perkins.
Well, that's a heck of an effort just for Justin Thomas to make sure that's not a loss. Let's watch Thomas. They want to sprint out to the near side. They've got 2 receivers in the pattern. An excellent pressure up front again by Duke. That front 4 has really been active, and Justin Thomas just kind of throws the ball in the area with Perkins to get it out.
Britton Greer is down. Looked like Russell Wilson on that play. Let's go back to the studio and find out the latest on Notre Dame. All right, Tommy, thank you very much. 10:25 remaining in this ball game. 5-0 Georgia Tech trailing Duke 24-12.
Boy, Duke's done a really good job defensively. You see Greer getting off the field, looks like on his own power. I think he ran into one of his own players, and that was just kind of, he got shaken up a little bit. Hopefully Greer, the junior, will be okay. But Duke has limited the explosion play, Tim. They have not given the chunk play up to Georgia Tech. They've made Georgia Tech earn every yard. And because their front 4 has played so well, Justin Thomas, I'm not sure, has really settled into his game. And it's getting late.
Second down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Here's the catch. Keep by Thomas. And Thomas's keeper picks up 9.
Looked like he got rolled up a little bit there as he came off. Just the keep play, fake. Got the lead play again. You see Perkins 21 leading up on Helton, the linebacker. Helton plays off the block and makes the tackle and forces a 3rd down. And now the clock is the enemy of Georgia Tech. Normally they love to milk the clock. Now they've got to conserve every moment.
If I'm on defense, I'm looking for Lasky. Instead they get Thomas.
There's the play you were asking for.
Absolutely. I just never understand why they go away from the first down marker.
Well, there's got to be a sense of urgency now for Paul Johnson's team. He's thinking, and you can't come back until you get the first score. You get that, but to conserve some time on the clock, as well as Duke's moving it offensively, sense of urgency for Georgia Tech's offense because they're down 2 scores.
Thomas goes to throw. All kinds of time. Now he's in trouble and throws it away. Intercepted. Intercepted. Duke inside the 20. Jeremy Cash has the pick. And it was almost a pick 6. Oh, what a play and what a game Cash has had.
Well, just a horrible decision by Justin Thomas on the sideline. I talked about you got to recover from your mistake the last time you had the football, and this is another poor decision. He gets outside. Now you got to throw the ball away. There's diminishing returns. Now just throw the ball away here, but he forces it up the field. Really no reason to make that throw, trying to get it to Zinnin. And Jeremy Cash, who's all ACC performer, one of the top tacklers, has a theft.
Wow. That's something Justin Thomas hadn't shown us until the second half. He threw one across his body, was almost picked. And then that one, he just threw it up for grabs.
Came in with just 1 interception on the year. He's thrown 2 in the last 2 series, and really poor decisions. He got away with one earlier in the previous drive. Remember Tim rolling out, threw the ball back over the middle, and it was dropped. But he's got to flush that out of his mind.
23-yard return after the interception. Aaron Joe comes off after being shaken up.
Big Aaron Joe, they've had some problems at left tackle. Brian Chamberlain wasn't able to go, so Aaron Joe has been rotating in there with Clement.
Wow. 9:15 left in the game, and Duke is taking control of this one. There was talk before this ball game, Thomas, perhaps ACC Player of the Year. He was starting to get some mentions in that regard.
Duke's defense has shot some holes in that for a little while.
Here's a Boone on the keeper. Neely makes the stop. 3-year starter, redshirt senior.
The plan for Duke has been pretty simple. They've challenged Georgia Tech. Do you want to play man coverage or do you want to play zone? If you want to play zone, then you're not going to be able to get enough people in the box. If you want to play man, now you can crowd the box and stop the run.
Second down, Boone again. Boone's got the first, inside the 10, inside the 5, down to the 1. Aaron Boone finally tripped up by Neely, or he would have had a touchdown.
Well, Anthony Boone has done a good job of taking care of the ball. Rachel talked to Coach Cutcliffe about how he got on Anthony Boone during their week off. But Boone has played outstanding today. He's done an outstanding job of decision-making, throwing it, and decision-making, running it. Cirque in the game now at quarterback.
They hustle back up, change the tempo to quickness, and Cirque bulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Thomas Cirque. And the Blue Devils up 30-12.
Well, this has been a team effort by this football team. The way they've handled their business, Duke on the road. All the talk about how Duke has not won in Atlanta since 1994, and they're 8 minutes and change away from erasing that number. Had not beaten Georgia Tech since 03, when the Georgia Tech defensive coordinator Ted Roof was their head coach. So a lot of demons they're trying to exercise today, but it's been a team effort. Now still 8 minutes to go, still some time for Tech, but boy, Duke has played pretty clean today.
So Duke up 30-12 with the extra point coming. Good snap, good hold. Splits the sticks, and right now it's all Blue Devils.
Anthony Boone gets a block, gets it up the field, and is able to push it inside the 5-yard line, and then insert your big quarterback, Thomas Cirque. He surges forward for his second touchdown of the season. And Duke cashes in on another takeaway, now +6 on the year in the giveaway takeaway ratio, and they've had a couple big takeaways today.
So now Thomas really has to respond to that mistake. Justin Thomas, you talked about it. You said he had to recover, and it didn't look like he did. Hey, fans, don't forget ACC Football Championship Weekend in Charlotte. It's December 5th and 6th. On Friday, the ACC Night of Legends will honor the year's best class, the all-time class, the Hall of Famers. Then on Saturday morning, the Championship Chase 5K gets the day rolling with the ACC Fan Fest and the title game that night. For details on all football championship weekend events and the tickets, visit theacc.com. We sure would love to see you there. It's always a great weekend.
Now, Duke, the Coastal Division champion from a year ago, just threw their hat back in the ring. If they're able to hang on here, saying, hey, we're not ready to relinquish that title as Coastal Division champs.
Little pooch kick taken by Dion Hill. And out to the 27-yard line. Well, the rivalry challenge is heating up on the ACC Football Challenge app. Georgia Tech 53 fans have the edge over Duke's 47 fans. Download the ACC Football Challenge to get in the game and secure victory for your team in today's matchup. 9 hours left.
Well, the game changes now for Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech because of where they are. They're in a huge hole, and now they'll play into Duke's hands. Duke wants to play zone and make you throw the football, and they've been taking it away this year.
This is Byerly now in the ball game as quarterback. And they pick up 2 yards, so a quarterback change. Justin Thomas out of the ball game.
Well, Tim Byerly has not played very much at all. In fact, has run the ball 12 times this year. He does have 3 touchdowns, but he's only thrown the ball 4 times in his Georgia Tech career. Those came last season. So Tim Byerly has not thrown a pass. That's the first time he's dropped a throw this season.
Five-step drop, throws over the middle. This is caught at the 43-yard line. B.J. Bostic has a first down.
Well, it's a big-time catch by Bostic. That's his first catch of the year for Bostic. He had not caught a pass coming in.
Now, there were those, Arch, that said Byerly was best at running this offense in the spring. Justin Thomas had been blessed, obviously, with more athletic ability, but Byerly had a great spring practice. Here he is again, throws over the top and incomplete. There was a mix-up there. A lot of contact. Summer seemed to stop. I don't know if he was pulled by Fields or not.
Well, you're forced into a situation, Tim, now where you're throwing the ball over the yard. That's really not who they are.
Our First and 10 is brought to you by YP.com, the even more powerful yellow pages. One app, one site. YP can do that.
I mean, they do the 2-minute drill and they practice it all week long, portions of the game. But let's face it, they practice the running attack and what they're going to do. So now you're forced to be almost exclusively a passing team.
Tim Byerly, the transfer from Middle Tennessee, rolls around to the right and picks up the first down and runs out of bounds at the 42. Again, it's Jeremy Cash, who's all over the field, who runs him out.
Well, and that doesn't please Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator for Duke. He hasn't had a lot to complain about. They had a stunt going up front, and Georgia Tech did a really good job of sorting it out. They created that lane for Byerly. They just tuck it and go with it.
Again, it's a keeper. Byerly inside the 35-yard line as he continues to move this offense effectively. The changeup, if nothing else, has given him some movement.
Well, Tech has not done a very good job with their possessions. They've moved the football, but just have not been able to get the finish. One of those interceptions in the red zone of Duke, another one deep in their own territory, and whenever you turn the football over, it's bad. Three turnovers here in the second half.
DeWalt Ondeju is down, and they will tend to him. 6:33 left in this ball game. Again, Georgia Tech ranked 22nd in the nation, 5-0, trailing Duke 31-12. Let's take a look at our Haviland defensive shield, Arch.
Well, when you talk about fourth quarter scoring, I'm not sure it's really second half, but we're in the fourth quarter, obviously. Duke has been phenomenal taking care of business in closing games out. Just under 6 points a game in the second half this season. In fact, you can go back 19 games in the fourth quarter. Teams are averaging just 4.2 points per game against this Duke defense over a 19-game span. They've been unbelievable late in the game.
Tim Byerly, the redshirt junior quarterbacking the Yellow Jackets. And again has the completion inside the 20. Moving it effectively. Darren Waller, the receiver.
Boy, big receiver, too, and he threw it where only his big guy could get it. Going to run the deep bench route to the sideline. Byerly puts it up high where his big 6'6" receiver could squeeze it. Byerly trying to rally his football team with just about 6 minutes left.
Picking up big yardage. That was for 17. About to take this game under 6 minutes, so the time is definitely a factor. Trying to rally the Jackets. The pitch back to Zenin. Flags fly down. This is down to the 11-yard line. We'll wait to see what the flags are.
It's on St. John Days, the A-back on that side. He just tackled the corner, so this will be a holding penalty and bring back the play. But St. John Days, number 10, big mistake there.
Holding on the offense. Number 10, 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Boy, Georgia Tech has been snake bit down in the red zone. This is their 8th penalty of the game. There's St. John Days right there. He just tackled the corner. And so the play comes back. But when they've gotten down close, they have just self-destructed with the penalties.
So it'll bring up first down and long. Throw back to Byerly. Makes the catch inside the 20. Byerly showing his physicality down to the 11.
I like the way he attacked the football. This throw is short by Bostic, and watch him come get the ball. Bostic is going to kind of loop this out. Now Byerly attacks the football. Go get it. Come and get it. And then a little physical play at the end by Byerly.
Here he is again, inside the 5, down to the 3, still on his feet. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Tim Byerly giving life to the Yellow Jackets. 11-yard touchdown run.
Well, think about it, Tim. Tim Byerly been standing on the sidelines. All the praise has gone to Justin Thomas, and rightly so. And as a backup quarterback, you're waiting for your opportunity. And you probably don't think it's going to come when you got an all-ACC performer potentially in front of you. But when you get the opportunity, how do you handle it? And Byerly came in like he'd been the starter. What an outstanding job by Tim Byerly now. And they're going to try to direct traffic here on this 2-point conversion play. Well, they're going to take a look to see if Byerly actually crossed the goal line. Let's take a look. This is the follow play, the lead block up inside, and then Byerly running physical at the end. Oh, there's no question about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No question about it.
They'll look at that knee, but the upper half of his body was across the goal line.
Boy, good block by Perkins on the inside against Helton, the linebacker, and then Byerly. I don't think he's in a question. He broke the plane before the hip touchdown. Well, it's hard to do, to stand on the sidelines and wait for your opportunity. Had no passing attempts coming in this season. Had run the ball 12 times. Pretty good effort.
So Byerly comes in. He makes a catch. He runs the ball 3 times for 37 yards. And passing, he's 2 for 3 for 29.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Well, just a situation where Byerly answered the call. Now, there's still a long way out, but a 2-point conversion here, if you're doing the math real quickly, makes it a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal game. If you're a Georgia Tech fan and trying to add it up.
No, and that's big. 2-possession game with 5 minutes left is doable. Here's Byerly again. Backside pressure. And incomplete. Threw it to the back shoulder, but it was covered, and there's Cash again to break it up. Well, the Yellow Jackets trying to make a comeback. And the Ramblin' Wreck goes to Byerly with a catch, the run, and the score. So if you're a Georgia Tech fan, you're now looking at that clock and looking at that score and know that we've got a 2-possession game. So if he had made that, it would have been a 2-possession game. But here we go now with time running out and the undefeated season on the line.
Well, just the whole thing, the way Duke has played here on the road, the delay really didn't seem to affect Duke. He sees the momentum against him. You go in, you get the stop on the 2-point conversion, you come out and create a turnover in the first series of downs, get the ball out of Lasky, that leads to a score for you. So I think Duke has really just kind of shown their veteran leadership, been able to handle kind of an adverse day.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is instead of just a touchdown and a field goal, you now need 2 touchdowns, and they know that. And they also know the onside kick is coming. Sure Hands team is on the field. Here's your little reverse tipped and finally caught by Duke. The play on the sidelines, and they'll get the ball with good field position.
Will not be able to hang on to the timeouts. Down 2 scores, as you were talking about, Tim. Right away, they've got to conserve as much time as they can. I would think that they've got to get a 3 and out. They've got to find a way to get a 3 and out. They just have not done that to Duke's offense today.
So Anthony Boone back on. First down, Duke. And Boone down to the 46-yard line. Paul Davis made the tackle. Our edge to the game brought to you by the Principal Financial Group.
Well, turnovers. I mean, it's one of the simplest stats you can follow in a game. Every coach will tell you got to take care of the ball, and Duke's taken it away 3 times, and 14 points have come directly off those turnovers. So that's the one that if you ask a coach what stat do you need to control, it's I need to take care of the ball. Duke's done it. Georgia Tech has not.
We've been playing this game now about 4 hours and 15 minutes because of the suspension by lightning. Here's the first down by Duke. Ajibi makes the first down with a pickup of 4.
Now we talked about opening drive into the second half. Lasky fumbles the football, leads to the touchdown there for Duke on the ground. Then, of course, the huge mistake by Justin Thomas, a throwaway situation. Jeremy Cash intercepts, and Thomas Sirk pounds it in to put Duke up with 31 points on the board. And really, that was the back-breaking score when it's all going to come down to it.
That pass by Thomas was so out of character. It was almost just like a brain freeze. Here's Boone. Tries to get around the left side and gets hit hard. He'll lose a yard. Paul Davis again, the leading tackler for this Yellow Jacket defense, and timeout taken quickly.
Yeah, I think Paul wanted to give his defense an opportunity to get a 3 and out, but when they didn't get it, he has to now use the timeouts. There's no way he can hang on to it.
.337 remaining in the ball game. Next week, Duke plays Virginia in Durham. And that's it for October.
Tim, let's take a look at our Napa know-how play of the game, and it's Jeremy Cash, big-time player on the outside. Now, Cash going to follow the quarterback and shadow the quarterback as he escapes to the outside, looking out up at top and in coverage. Cash stays on coverage, now steps in front for the ill-advised pass, picks it, and is down the sideline. Jeremy Cash, transferred from Ohio State, one of their leading tacklers, does an outstanding job of knowing how to stay on coverage, not commit to the quarterback, stay in coverage and make the play. That's your Napa know-how play of the game.
And they continue to motor along. Ajibi, left side, picks up 2. Clock continues to move. Timeout, Georgia Tech. Well, it's been a long time. David Cutcliffe 0 for 6 against Georgia Tech. You have to go way back to find the last time the Blue Devils won.
Well, you got to go back to 03, and Ted Roof was their head football coach. There he is. There's Ted right there, getting doused. Huge win for Duke at the time, and now he's the defensive coordinator right up here. See him back there behind everybody.
Boy, how about that streak? The Jackets beating Duke straight.
He was a great football player at Duke as well, and they could have used Ted Roof on the field today. He has over 400 tackles as a Duke defender. His boys play high school football at a tremendous school in North Georgia, here up North Atlanta, Ford High School, one of the great 4A schools in the state of Georgia. But he's a big-time coach.
Yeah, he is. Good guy, too. Family man. Boys coming up playing football. 3rd down and long for Duke. A lot of runs for Boone, and he goes down at the 35.
Initial pressure by Lawrence Austin, the freshman safety that has replaced Jamal Golden. He's up around the line of scrimmage, and he shoots in. Number 20 going to come off the edge and really kind of cut Boone off. Coming in, kind of cuts Boone off, gets around the legs. Jackets are able to get there and put him on the ground.
Out Georgia Tech. Take a look at the Coastal Division, because this now is getting some of interesting. Boy, how about next Saturday? We head to Durham as Virginia on the blue. Parks had a career day last Saturday in the win against Pitt. Senior record 169 touchdown. Virginia stayed undefeated in conference play. Network against it new with the ACC Blitz powered by with Wormy.
Love watching Kevin Parks play. Stand. I think he's one of the great backs in the country. He does an outstanding job of hiding behind his big offensive line. Sold their offense. How about the defense is going to be on display in that game? Well,
battle for the top. Here's Monday, gets a high knuckleball. Smelter will fair catch it at the 11. We've got 3:19 remaining in this ball game.
Well, I think mission accomplished if you're a Duke fan, and really the Duke sideline is they wanted to eat up the timeouts. Try to extend the drive enough. They got 1 first down, which made Paul Johnson now say, I can't wait. I've got to burn my timeout. So now Georgia Tech really under the gun. 3:19 remaining, no timeouts left, down 2 scores.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tim Byerly orchestrates his hurry-up offense, if in fact that's what he does.
Well, what they need is they need a chunk play. They need something, missed tackle or something to create an opportunity.
Backside pressure. Byerly will go down. Tries to stay on his feet. Dangerously close to the goal line.
On Dijo again. Walden Dijo has been really good today. He comes off the edge and gets on the back of Byerly. Now, he's not going to ultimately make the play, but he created the play. And boy, Georgia Tech's lucky to get out of the end zone. It looked like it. And then Dijo waving people off, says, I'm staying in the game. He's played well.
Still a loss of 8. 2:45 to play in the game. Byerly rolls this time and throws over the top. Incomplete. Tried to hit the back shoulder of B.J. Bostic. Pretty good coverage by Devon Edwards.
Well, and again, Jordan DeWalden Dijo reaching down, grabbing that left leg. Boy, he's been really good today. Came in with 2 sacks, but he's been disruptive. Leads the D-line in tackles coming into today's game. See what we get here. He's going to get cut. Oh, and he got the leg rolled up. Not only did he get the cut, but it looked like Deion Hill rolled the leg up. Watch the little hyperextension of the left leg. Right there, just tweaked it a little bit. Hopefully that's not too serious.
Wow.
Boy, he's been good today for David Cutcliffe. Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator.
He sure has, Arch.
And they've been banged up defensively. We talked about it. Some of their guys weren't able to go today. Carlos Ray, one of their normal tackles. Desmond Johnson, their starting left defensive end, was not able to go today because of injury. This is the last thing that anybody wants is injuries, but certainly that defensive front has really been banged up.
Just been a tough day for injuries on both sides. Well, Byerly in. You see Justin Thomas hanging his head a little bit on the sidelines. Pretty good day for a lot of the day, but he made some critical mistakes.
Well, I just thought that they never really got Justin doing what they need him to do. A couple of his runs that were explosion runs were broken plays. And that's part of what he brings to the table. But they just didn't dominate the line of scrimmage and do the kind of things that you normally see Justin doing. His biggest thing is, hey, this is far from over for Georgia Tech, and certainly trying to win the Coastal. But he's going to have to get his head up. He made a couple mistakes here late in the game that he's going to have to erase.
Byerly again throws deep. The mismatch guy goes big over the top to Waller, the 6'5" wide receiver. He makes the catch and the first down. So they'll stop the clock where they move the chains. 30-yard pickup.
Yeah, Waller goes up high and high points the football. Really was just a jump ball for Waller. Looked like the big kid made a good play.
He's 6'5". Borders is just 6 feet. Byerly again goes that way, and this one's overthrown. Georgia Tech last week held the ball 41 minutes of the 60 minutes of the game against Miami. Today, 29:07. Incredible.
It really is, and it goes not only to Duke's defense and how well they played the red zone, it goes to the Duke offense and how they possessed the football. They were able to run it. Boone was very good at distributing the ball, and I thought they did a nice job of operating. But Duke's defensive front, to me, if you want to pick out a group, has been very impressive today.
Byerly throws the out pattern, and against the big fellow Waller, who makes the catch. That's a first down.
Again, Duke is going to be very content to not give up big plays. Now certainly they don't want to give up 15-yard plays every time Byerly throws it, but they're playing soft coverage right now. They're trying to make sure that no Yellow Jacket gets behind them for a big play that could change the complexion of the game. So they're playing very soft, and so you see this umbrella look in the secondary.
Byerly drops again, throws. This time he rolls away from the pressure. And again, throws to the big fella. And it's a first down. Waller makes another catch.
Byerly's done a nice job, Tim, coming in. Now, it's different circumstances he's playing in now than was Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas was in the thick of it when the game was in doubt. This is a situation where Duke just trying to kind of hang on, just making sure there's no explosion plays. So the looks are a lot different now than they were for Justin Thomas.
Safety's playing deep, as Arch said. First down and 10 from the 43. Byerly's been pretty sharp. Throws over the top. Has a man. It's caught inside the 15. That's Dion Hill.
Now, see, those are the kind of plays that David Cutcliffe and Jim Knowles do not want. You know, here's Dion Hill. He runs the wheel route, and Duke gets a little bit lost in coverage. And a big play down the field, and he gets out of bounds. So now you get a little bit nervous. Even though there's 1:42 left, that's not what they were looking for giving up. They want to give up that underneath stuff, not only over the top.
Borders became famous when he picked off Jameis Winston twice in the ACC title game. He was beaten there, and Georgia Tech still believes they have time to win this. Backside, here comes Borders. Byerly rolls out of there. Avoids the sack and throws a touchdown. Is it? No. He's at the 1. And again, it's Dion Hill. There is a flag down at the 26.
I think that's going to be roughing the passer against Duke. But how about Byerly stepping out of what looked like a certain sack 3 times on this play? Watch Byerly here now, trying to find something. The blitz is clean through the middle. Back-to-back throws to Dion Hill, and how about that laser shot? It was Dion Hill in bounds when he caught the football.
Yeah,
here.
that's what I was looking at. Look at his feet.
I'm sure they'll take a look at this. If you're Georgia Tech, you want to get the ball snapped as quickly as you can. If you're Duke, you fall down and act like
I don't know.
on the football. I'm not sure Dion Hill was in bounds on the catch.
Meanwhile, Byerly, 7 of 10 for 125 yards. They're not going to stop play. Georgia Tech goes. This Byerly again. Still on his feet. Touchdown, the Yellow Jackets.
Wow, how about the power of Byerly? 2 Duke Blue Devils wrapped around the quarterback. And that's the second time we've seen him muscle in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game here. Heck of a job by Tim Byerly to come in off the bench. Cole really has not played much more all year long and direct this offense to 2 scores here in the final moments of the game against a defense in Duke that just has not given up points in the 4th quarter over the last year and a half.
So hold on here. Harrison Butker for the extra point. Folks, this game's not over. 31-25 with 1:27 to play.
Well, what an excellent job by Tim Byerly. Can't say enough about him. Can't say enough about the entire Tech offense to kind of rally around their backup quarterback. You know they feel bad for Justin Thomas, but hey, we got a kid in here trying to compete and help us win. And if you're Georgia Tech, and Waller stepped up with some big catches. How about Dion Hill, big time grabs, and this kid just scrambling around trying to stay alive and make plays. And so now we come down to one of the more exciting plays that ends fairly quickly, an onside kick.
Tim Byerly, redshirt junior, transfer from Middle Tennessee, 212 pounds, comes into ball game. He's got 6 carries, 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's 7 of 10 passing for 125.
Well, Butker kicked the line drive last time. They need, if you're Georgia Tech, they need his best effort right here.
Good bounce. And a great catch. Ryan Smith made a terrific catch on that high bounce, which was kicked perfectly.
Well, they got the kick. You're right, Tim. This is the perfect year of the victory for Duke.
That might be the play of the game because Georgia Tech felt if they could get it back, they could score. Take a knee. Yellow Jackets have no way to stop it. And again, with this win, Duke puts itself or keeps itself right in the division title hunt, and we will be with them next week as Virginia comes calling.
Yeah, Tim, Duke had been told all week long, you can't win at Georgia Tech. You haven't won down there since 1994. Half these kids weren't even born when they played that game. Okay, they didn't even, I don't know anything about that. In fact, the last time they beat Georgia Tech, most of them were still in grade school. So, well, sometimes the history maybe doesn't necessarily impact the team that's on the field. Certainly Duke handled their business. They've come down here and won a game and really handling in the adverse situation of being on the road, a delay of over an hour waiting to come back out on the field after you played a pretty good first half. Pretty good job by David Cutcliffe's team to handle all these situations on the road.
Yeah, no question about it. Bart Chase there congratulating him. They need one more good snap, and that should do it. And Duke gets out of here with a win today, and they sure earned it. David Cutcliffe gets the win, his first against Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech. Long afternoon, weather delays. Well, you've been watching coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football on the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. It was long, but it was exciting. Duke wins it 31-25. The final score in Atlanta. For Rachel Barbeau, Dave Archer, I'm Tim Brandt saying so long from Bobby Dodd Stadium.